The Tamil Nadu government has dropped the Devanagari rupee symbol. In fact, it has replaced it with the Tamil letter for rupee in their logo. It uses the letter Ru to denote Rubai, the Tamil word for rupee. The logo, which reads Ellarkum Illam, which means everything for everyone, has been released just a day before the tabling of the state budget on 14th of March. Interestingly, the Tamil Nadu government's move comes amid an ongoing tussle between the centre and the state over the three-language policy. Not to forget that last year itself, the same logo had the rupee symbol in the Devanagari script. The very year, the Stalin government decided to go ahead with the NEP but later backtracked. The DMK says it is a symbolic move, one that showcases the state government's importance to Tamil over the Devanagari script. But the Bharatiya Janata Party has been quick to call out the bitter irony of this move, because the designer of the national rupee symbol, Uday Kumar Dharmalingam, is not only Tamilian but also the son of a DMK MLA. Viewers, let me also now tell you about the origins of the rupee symbol. It was officially adopted in 2010 and represents the Indian rupee or INR. Interestingly, it is a combination of the Devanagari letter Ra and the Roman capital letter R with two parallel horizontal lines at the top. What do these two lines represent? India's tricolour and the equality side. The parallel lines at the top are said to represent the Indian tricolour flag. They depict an equality sign symbolizing the nation's desire to reduce economic disparity. And now let me also jog your memory a bit and remind you that it was the Manmohan Singh-led UPA government that launched this very symbol 15 years ago. In fact, the then Finance Minister, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, announced the intention behind the symbol during the Union Budget. Mukherjee had said that the symbol would reflect and capture the Indian ethos and culture. But look how far we've come. The language barrier stands as the great divide between North and the South. Is this the Indian ethos and culture that we are talking about? It also brings us to focus on Stalin's wider war against Hindi just ahead of the state elections in 2026. Stalin has opposed the three-language rule in the national education policy. DMK cadres have indulged in blackening out Hindi signboards at the stations. Stalin has accused Hindi of swallowing other languages, and DMK has led the protest in the parliament over Hindi imposition. Now, the DMK has dropped the rupee symbol in the state budget in their latest move. The big question we are also asking, while the DMK has thrived on anti-Hindi politics, has it now gone too far?
The BJP tries to trivialize the entire issue by just saying, see who's studying the third language. They are not taking it willingly. They have joined the CBSE board. There is no option except to study the third language.
I believe today what the DMK has done, trying to replace the Indian rupee symbol, is the last straw on the camel's back on the language war. They've taken it too far, and probably they have entered into a zone from which there is no coming back.
These two parties have divided the country, trying to divide the country in the name of South and North, in the name of Hindi and other language. I think this is nothing but diversionary politics, diversionary tactics of both the Kerala government and also the DMK government.
Let me introduce my guests tonight. I'm joined in by Rajat Sethi, who's a political analyst. I'll also be joined in by the DMK spokesperson in just a bit. But for now, I'm also joined in by Mr. Kovai Satyan, who's the national spokesperson for the AIA-DMK. I'm also joined in by Sumant C. Raman, who's a political analyst. Many thanks to you, gentlemen, for joining in. Kovai, I want to bring you in on this aspect since we were talking earlier during the day as well. What is your assessment? The DMK very much is claiming that this is one move that is meant to emphasize on inclusivity of the Tamil people. Do you think that this is meant to bring in inclusivity, or is this just another very divisive move?
Good evening. First, understand the achievements of MK Stalin and the challenges in front of him. He has two distinctive achievements. First achievement is the state is the #1 borrower among all the other states. It tops the list of borrowing. The second achievement is he is the #1 incompetent chief minister Tamil Nadu or India has ever seen. The challenges in front of him is there is a distribution, PDS distribution scam of 992 crores. And today, 1,000 crores of task is there. And his senior most counterpart, Durai Murugan, is languishing on a scam of 800 plus crores. So every scam to the tune of 1,000 plus crores are in the doorsteps. And you need some diversion and you need some tactics to move forward. In the next year, 2026, DMK is decided that they are not going to talk about their achievements and seek votes. They need a reason to build a narrative that can sustain till 2026. And what has come to their rescue is this retrieving state rights in the name of language. That's their usual ploy. They say in English, admin or manmen. 4 years of DMK role is run only by advertisements. Now this advertising scriptwriter has gone to the next level of madness. That's what it is reflecting right now in his change of symbol in the currency or in the budget. Recently concluded 100th centenary of his father Karnanidhi, whom they call as a champion of Tamil and Tamil rights. None of the leaflets or pamphlets depicted this image of Tamil letter Rupee there. How come suddenly out of the blue this has become a symbol of retrieving state rights and language? This clearly indicates the misplaced priorities of DMK and the desperation of DMK to build a narrative to divert the people from the day-to-day affairs and the pressures that the common man is facing. Severe, colossal lapse of law and order, which is in shambles. The highest inflation that one can witness. The unemployment issues. The women and children's safety in the state. The list is endless. Their misgovernance and mismanagement is endless in the last 4 years.
All right, I see
Stalin
Karan
has not
Verma
even one
also
achievement to boast about.
Okay.
He doesn't have
Kovai,
one achievement to say this is my
thank you for setting
achievement.
the tone for this debate, and I want to bring in Sumansi Ravan on that note. Mr. Ravan, how do you assess this entire move? You know, you're not looking at just an ordinary logo. You're talking about removal of a national symbol. I've just run our viewers through what it means for the entire nation. It's meant to be a unifying symbol for the entire country. So where is the question of diversity? And also as Kovai was highlighting, is this also becoming a case of misplaced priority for the DMK-led government in Tamil Nadu?
No, it is not misplaced priority. It is a clever diversionary tactic, which is which is used quite often. And I think it is working out quite well because the BJP is also playing along with this, with what the DMK is doing. And they are, giving tit for tat, and that is sort of dominating the headlines in the state over the last few days. Now, let us look at this. Now, tomorrow the budget is going to be presented. Now, they have used Ru, which is actually signifying Rupee, which is a Sanskrit word. Rupee is actually, or Rupee, comes from an original Sanskrit word, and that word which refers to silver. So basically, replacing what was in effect a symbol. A symbol does not have a language, so to speak. It is now been replaced with a Sanskrit word, a symbol for a Sanskrit word. So I don't know what the logic behind all this is, except that it is a diversion. Last 1 week, what have we had? We've had new education, national education policy, 2-language policy versus 3-language policy, delimitation. Now we've got this removal of the rupee symbol. Each one of them is a calculated diversion to take away attention from the mess that is that governance is in the state. So I think that, and every day, in fact, just a few hours ago, the Enforcement Directorate has come out with an allegation of an alleged 1,000 crore scam in the TASMAC, which is the state-run liquor sale unit. So I think that all of these get diverted. We can, hold placards and, go and burn effigies of, leaders and so on. So I think that this plays, this is basically, I would say, nothing more than a diversion. And we are, unfortunately, the media is giving it more attention to ensure that the aim of the DMK actually succeeds. So that is
I'm
the
sure
tragedy of
you'll
this
agree that if you're talking about dropping national symbols, this is marking an escalation in the overall resistance of the DMK when it comes to the national education policy. So it can't go unnoticed. But I'm going to bring in Rajat Sethi on that note. Rajat Sethi, I want to ask you, what do you make of this entire move? And is the BJP or the centre also somewhere feeding into this entire fire by withholding those funds that the centre ought to release? And why is this now becoming more of a political fight for the DMK rather than a principled stance?
I think it is almost 90-95% to do with politics. Politics in Tamil Nadu is going through a churn. There are new parties which are coming in. There is anti-incumbency building up. And you barely have 1 year's time. I mean, in campaign management, if you do not start now, you will not be able to control the slip. So what DMK is now realizing is that it needs to change the narrative and keep that pot boiling for the next several months. And as soon as that, the whole state is going to get into election mode, and then there will be no anti-incumbency which will build up. Remember that they are in their consecutive second term, and a third term would be is something that they are now eyeing upon, that there would be a transition of power from Stalin. Stalin might go out, and Udaynidhi might be given the chance to be the chief minister. Now that transition also is not going to be smooth, and Stalin has to fight several stakeholders. So this is a classic diversionary tactic. They know that they will, the moment they stoke this sentiment, they will get expected response from all the quarters. They know this. So they are trying to, just pick up old script, ensure that it hits the BJP and the ADMK and the other stakeholders, including Vijay's party, where it sort of hurts them, and they will not be able to pounce on with the same amount of vigor because they have the instrumentalities of the state with them. So all of this, let me tell you again, it is nothing as serious about what they are trying to proclaim. It is deliberately trying to prick in the eye, just trying to divert the anger that people of Tamil Nadu are currently facing.
Karan Verma, what do you make of
this?
What do you make of this deliberate diversionary tactic, given that the Union Home Minister himself has given those assurances? He's also talked about how the government at the centre has been promoting the Tamil language when he says that CAPF exams are being conducted. Also question why the government in the state is not conducting, I beg your pardon, why the government in the state is not conducting exams when it comes to engineering and medical papers in Tamil. That's a question that remains unanswered. And at the same time, they had ample time at hand. You're looking at a budget session of 2024 as well. That time there was no new logo introduced. You had the winter session, you had the monsoon session. None of the NEP debates took place that time.
So, Akanksha, it's very clear. I think everyone has unanimously agreed that this is a diversionary tactic for political gains. The unfortunate bit for the DMK is that they are not even going to get political mileage out of it. It is so phony and so fake. I mean, just look at this. From Sanatan hatred to Hindi and Sanskrit bashing, they stand exposed. The very name Udaynidhi happens to be a Sanskrit name. It means Uday is a Sanskrit name and Nidhi happens to come from the Navnidhis of the god of wealth Kuber. So, what all are they actually going to change? They are making a fool of themselves. The fact is, their governance today has fallen apart. I mean, you look at in terms of borrowing, in terms of growing inflation, the law and order, the scams coming out. So, this is a failed government that is clutching at straws wherever it can. And we must understand this. In terms of the centre transferring funds of the Samudra Shiksha and other things, the state cannot be mollycoddled and they have to obey the 3-language formula. There is no Hindi imposition. In fact, if anything, Hindi was made mandatory. Back in 1968, they did not follow that. They did not follow that from 1968, even though it's coming back from the Radhakrishna
I'm going to give you time. I'm going to give you time. I'm going to give you time.
No,
hold your horses. Calm down. I'm going to give you time, Sumant. I'm going to give you time to respond. Yes, Karan, finish your point.
Instead of cushioning this, let's talk some facts here. Article 343(1) makes it very clear that Hindi in Devanagari script is the official language along with English. It's a fact, it's a reality you have to live with. Even though I think the national education policy in 2020 has cut some serious slack, it has not made Hindi mandatory. So how are you going on rooftops and crying that there is Hindi imposition? It's all a phony act, as Sumanji Rahman rightly said, just for diversionary tactics, because it's a failed Tamil Nadu government that needs to be voted out next year.
Sumansi Raman, by now, after all those ample discussions we've had, I think we all can unanimously agree that there's no question of imposition over here. That too at a time when the state itself is witnessing a fall in students themselves opting for Tamil.
Just two corrections to what Karan had said. One, there is no legal requirement for any state to accept three-language formula or national education policy. It is a policy, it is not a law. And there is no constitutional requirement or legal requirement that a state has to accept it, which is how Tamil Nadu has not accepted it from 1968. Nothing has happened. Funds have not been withheld. So now the question is on withholding of the funds. Is the center legally allowed to withhold funds for non-acceptance of a particular policy? Is something that the courts will have to decide. Hopefully, the Tamil Nadu government, instead of doing all this natak, will actually go to the court and say, give us our share. The center has to give us our share. And if they do that, this issue will get resolved. Now, having said that, that is the first factual correction that I want to make. So it's not that the state has to accept.
No, it's not factually correct.
No, it is not.
It is not factually correct.
Sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
No, not at all.
You
first complete, then I'll rebut. You first complete, then I'll rebut.
Karan, then if you let him, then I'll come to you.
So the first part is there is no legal mandate for the state
Can I make some factual points here?
Yes.
Three-language policy. I think, Satyan, you go ahead, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Before I come to you, Kovai Satyan, let me also
First of
give
all,
time to Karan to come up with his response. Yes, Karan, I give you
I'm going to give clarity before
Yes,
Karan
yes.
could make his point.
Kovai.
1 second.
Then Karan, let's listen into what Kovai
I'll
has
just
to
take
say
30
and perhaps you can respond to both of them collectively. Okay.
The education is in the concurrent list. So central government can't take the high-handedness that a state has to oblige and comply to these rules. So it is not a unilateral rule. That's point number one. The point number two is it is DMK which wrote a letter of consent to the central government. They met Dharmendra Pradhan in person and gave that letter of intent that they are willing to constitute PM Shri schools in Tamil Nadu, which are all model schools of NEP, and they requested the central government to release the third and fourth installments under SSA. What is not clear is on what basis where the first and second installments were released. Were there a consent where it was concurred with both the center and state? That's why the Dharmendra Pradhan took that moral high ground saying that unless you agree in totality, we will not release. That backfired, that misfired and that backfired. So education in a concurrent list, central government certainly can't dictate. Let me make it very clear to Mr. Karan Verma.
Okay.
Having said that, let's all understand that Hindi imposition is a fear in everybody in Tamil Nadu. Why? Because the national education policy opens the backdoor entry for a third language, which predominantly is Hindi, and it can gain prominence and start dominating. This is the real fear. AIADMK, being a Dravidian party, is not against any language. All we are fearing and worried about is this opens up a backdoor entry for Hindi to come inside the state, because already the central government run agencies, you get to meet people only who talk Hindi. There are no one who could speak Tamil and converse in Tamil. The circulars are in Hindi. The post offices,
Kovai,
the railways,
what is the fear
the banks.
if Hindi does come in and students
No,
are...
it's not an official language.
But Kovai, my
let me
question
rebut
is,
this.
what is the fear? What is the fear if students do opt for Hindi as a language? What is the fear? Let these
Akansha,
students exercise their brains and make that choice, Kovai.
एक मिनट में हिंदी में बात कर सकते हो? एक मिनट.
Can I answer
मैं
this?
गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में पढ़ा हूँ, ठीक है? वो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में हिंदी कंपलसरी नहीं था. फिर कैसे पढ़ा मैंने हिंदी? I went to हिंदी प्रचार सभा, दक्षिण भारत हिंदी प्रचार सभा, learned Hindi by writing exams. Even today, Tamil Nadu, there are 3.5 lakh students who write Hindi exams and learn Hindi and get passed. At any given point of time, did AIDMK say that Hindi Prachar Sabha can't be in Tamil Nadu? So we are not against this.
But
If
then
students
that's the
start
question.
learning
It's
our-
never an imposition. Let me now come to Karan. That is the point that I'm making. You had the choice to choose it and you did so, right?
Oh, it opens up a back door into the government school. That's what we are worried
No,
about.
can I speak
But
now?
what is the
Akanksha,
worry
is
over
this
there?
fair
Okay,
that
Karan,
everyone is
please
speaking
go
and
ahead.
I'm
Yes,
talking?
Karan, please
Central government
not
letting
fair.
us-
let's
Yeah,
give
yeah.
Karan the time to hear him uninterrupted. Please, Karan.
Yeah. No, I am appalled, Akanksha, to hear this from Sumansi Ramanji, that is it important that a national policy should be followed by the states? They are not obliged to follow a national policy. Can you imagine this?
it is not.
I mean, if
It is
national
not-
policies
it is
are
not a
not
law.
followed by the states, even अरे आप चुप रहेंगे भाई बीच में? Will you
Alright.
please
Arey,
keep
yaar,
quiet
it
now?
is
Have
not
some
a
courtesy.
let's
law.
not lose
You're
our
not
calm.
understanding the difference between a
Let's
law and
not
a
lose
policy.
our calm.
Akanksha, you have to ask
Mr.
him to keep
Raman,
quiet when I'm talking.
Please allow him to speak and I'll come to
is
you
this
for
fair?
a response.
Okay.
Yeah. If the states are under no obligation, as per Sumansi Raman, to accept a national policy, even the center is not under obligation to send you funds. It is plain and simple. The entire objective of Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan was for the center, the federal government, to help the states to up the quality of government education. Ideally, it should have been the responsibility of the state governments to do that. But the center extended this aid, rightly so. But if you don't
My
follow the
friend, you are
national
wrong.
education policy, then of course the center has the right to withdraw it, to withhold your funds. Of course, you've been mollycoddled for decades. Why would you not follow a national policy when every state is following? Why should there be an exception for you? And to have the gall and temerity then to say that we will not follow it, who are you to impose it on it?
Let's
That is
now
called
hear.
following the
Let's
rules.
now hear what
If you can't follow
Sumansi
the
Raman
rules,
has
then
to
that's
say.
anarchy.
Mr. Raman, please go ahead.
No, I think that this kind of my way or the highway thing doesn't work here for a simple reason that this is something which relates to education, which is in the concurrent list. Tamil Nadu outperforms most of the other states where the quote-unquote so-called three-language formula is followed. We'll not get into that issue at all. The bottom line is there is no legal mandate for any state to sign up to the national education policy. That is a fact. The point is why the central government is not openly saying so is the million-dollar question. Why is the DMK also government not pointing it out, saying that there is no legal obligation is something beyond me. Second, Mr. Verma said Hindi is the official language. It is not the official language. It is the link language, right? It is not
It
the
is the
national
official language.
It is, yeah, it is a link language.
It is
It's
the
one of
official
two link
language.
languages. It is
It
not
is the official
national
language.
No,
Official
sorry,
language,
one
not the
minute.
national language.
1 minute.
Official
Yeah,
language.
Yeah, okay.
It's the official language.
Now the point. No, one second. The point again is that when there is no compulsion to actually use a particular policy, and a state is doing well without it, the question of withholding funds, that is exactly my grouse with the DMK government. Why have they not gone to court? All of this is going on in public with the huge agitations and protests and this and that, and everybody is breathing fire on social media and TV. But the government strangely refuses to go to court and claim what is its rightful share. So that is what makes me sort of convinced that this is some kind of a fixed match, because the letter that the state government gave to the government of India on 15th March also was extremely vaguely worded. It said we are appointing a committee to sort of finalize on how we will sign this thing, but it never said only subject to the recommendations of the committee will be signed. It said that the MOU will be signed.
So it was a
based on
letter
the
of intent.
recommendations
I
of
think
the
Kovai
committee.
has already
And one
highlighted
more
that.
thing, and at the
Kovai
last
has
sentence,
already
says,
highlighted
please
that.
release. No, the last sentence, if they did not intend to sign, they said the last sentence said, please release the third and fourth installment. Pending installments, please may be released. So that is for all practical purposes saying the committee will recommend
Sir,
the signing
Suman,
of
sir,
the MOU.
can I add a
All
point
right.
here?
Kovai Satyan, make a point and then I want to quickly go across to Rajat Sethi as well.
This is not a centrally sponsored scheme. SSA, state is a stakeholder and the contribution and ratios are fixed between the state and the center. So, Mr. Karan Verma, it is not a centrally sponsored scheme. The state is a stakeholder, so there cannot be any unilateral decision. Please get
It is
your
a
facts
stakeholder,
right.
but it is
NEP
not the
is
major
the draft
contributor.
under policy. Even
It is
today,
not.
central
It
government
is,
says.
every scheme is.
Let me complete,
Every
my dear
scheme
friend.
is in
Right,
that
right,
sense.
Karan, please.
Let me complete, my dear friend. Allow me to
Sir.
speak.
Go ahead.
Even today, the central
Go ahead.
government says the third language is an option. Hindi is not compulsory. That's what they are saying again and again. If that being the case, there is no need for the Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to take the high ground and say that I'll withhold funds if you don't agree. So there are lapses on either side, both BJP and as well as DMK. So let's get the facts right first. Don't put the lives of students at stake just because you want to throw mud at each other.
Okay,
You have to work
Rajat,
towards a
I want to
solution.
bring you in on the points that Suman C. Raman have made along with Kovai Satyan as well. But you know, given the history of the anti-Hindi agitations we've seen in Tamil Nadu, whether in the 1930s or the 1960s, do you not agree that the centre will have to speak to the fears that exist locally even within certain student bodies? So what if they belong to the DMK?
No, absolutely. All fears in a democracy have to be addressed through their representatives. Here, what Dharmendra Pradhanji has been saying is that all of these leaders actually went in and agreed to it. And then they come out and take a political position, which he can't control, of course. See, my problem here is, why is Tamil Nadu as a state being singled out by the politicians of Tamil Nadu? You can also see your neighborhood state, Andhra Pradesh. They are coming out with innovative ways of handling this free language problem or concerns. Telangana is also a southern Indian state. Karnataka is also where you see a Congress government is there. Similarly, your neighborhood Kerala doesn't have a problem. Why is it that Tamil Nadu is trying to, or the politicians in Tamil Nadu are trying to make this into a political issue? Therefore, it has nothing to do with the logic on NEP or not. One way or the other, NEP is a policy rolled out with funds attached to the NEP policy. You cannot, extract the funds and not follow the policy. That's not going to happen. And there are examples of how other states are dealing and negotiating with the central government. They're also proud of their own mother tongue, the way Tamil Nadu and the Tamil people are. I don't understand the real root cause. Here you have certain set of representatives. Incidentally, all the parliamentarians are all belonging to one party, which is DMK. And they have to do some drama to showcase that we are fighting for Tamilian rights in Delhi and we are fighting the Delhi force and we are standing like a wall, because all these 5 years they didn't do anything. Now they have to, what will they go out and
Kovai
show?
Satyan,
The elections are coming. So
Kovai
look at
Satyan.
it from the prism of...
No, I want to ask you, you know, we've just, most of us, you know, from the political circles have said that this is a very stupid move to have dropped the rupee symbol, the national symbol of the rupee. But I think we need to look at it with a more serious context, because the fact of the matter remains that this could perhaps be the beginning of dropping of more political symbols or national symbols that may perhaps threaten what MK Stalin believes is the Dravidian model.
So let me, for the benefit of your viewers, the subnationalism thoughts and the context was dropped by the founder of DMK, Mr. Pereringar Anna, way back in 1962. The anti-Hindi agitation didn't happen overnight. It had its own merits way back in 1960s, wherein more than tens and lives were lost. So to my friend Rohit here, who is an analyst, see, it doesn't happen without merits or waters. The anti-Hindi agitation is because Congress at that point of time wanted to impose Hindi into the state. That's what the triggering point is. Today, what we are saying is we are not against any language. All we are saying is don't look at means and ways to impose a language through a backdoor entry. This is what we are saying. And if you can understand what we are saying, people in Tamil Nadu also appreciates our standpoint. What we have achieved as the two-language policy, we are the second largest economy. You talk any metrics, any indices, we have shown the way to the other states to follow. If you are saying that the third language will open up new avenues, give us some data which could convince a common man in Tamil Nadu
Kovai,
that
allow
a third
me to make
language
that
or a fourth language is how the avenues are being going to open up.
I'll make that intervention, Kovai, because I have the data that has been presented over here. You have the Dakshin Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha, which already is a living testimony to how there are several students who are choosing to opt for Tamil. At the same time, I'm sure now you will refute what the education minister had to say, but he presented that data.
No.
It's right in front of me that Tamil has dropped from 54% in 2018 to 36% in 2023.
That's not what my question all about.
No,
If they say
the
a language
question
is going
is
to
for
open...
me.
No, Akansha, allow
So
me to
if
complete, please.
let students
minutes,
decide.
I-
Shouldn't students decide? Kovai.
I'm not disputing your data. That's what we are saying, that if the student is willing to learn the language, he has avenues, let him go ahead.
Okay.
That's what's my opening remark as well. My point is, if you say that Hindi language, you learn Hindi language, it is going to open up a plethora of avenues for you. Please educate us with data. What are all the avenues you are talking about? Without that itself, we are the second largest
Okay,
economy
point
in
taken.
India.
The-
What are the avenues
all
are
right.
you talking about?
I can also see that Mr. Dhanidharan, who is the DMK spokesperson, has just joined in. Mr. Dhanidharan, unfortunate that you've joined towards the latter part or the tail end of the discussion, but I want to begin with the basic and the big controversy this hour. Why would you call the dropping of a national symbol as a diverse move, that too when it was designed by a Tamilian, one who is the son of a DMK MLA?
No, firstly and foremost, I would like to condemn, as party has said at 6 p.m. show, in which there was no DMK spokesperson invited and aspersions were cast on my leader and his name. And I think it's not fair for the anchor to have allowed that to happen. I would want to make it on record. And secondly and foremost, it has nothing to do with the gentleman who designed. He's a very creative person. I've seen his work. It's not that this is a budget made on Tamil Nadu taxpayers' money. And we have given importance to Tamil. The entire picture is in Tamil language. In that, we have put Ru, the Tamil alphabet, Rubai, it says Ru. I don't know what is the problem here. It's to give importance to the oldest language.
But then
in
why
this country. Secondly,
drop a national symbol?
See, it's not a national symbol. It's there in the currency note. It's our budget, right? If we are not saying, we are not doing like Prime Minister Modi, one overnight, we are completely saying replace the notes and create new notes and bring agony to the people. We are not doing that. It is a budget document. So, that is the symbol we have put Ru, right? Are we saying, are we replacing the currency and putting Ru there overnight and bringing agony to the people? No, absolutely not. Because UP election was there, demonetization was brought about so that some amount of hypnotization can be done for the masses. That's all. That was the idea then, right? So here, that's not the case. We want to give importance to the oldest language in India, and also to of course, which is Tamil language, and also to tell the union government that every regional language is important, and they're all equal to Hindi. All scheduled languages in Hindi are equal. Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, and Hindi are equal. Hindi is no way superior to any of these languages, just because it's spoken by, just because 28% of the population have it as mother tongue. And the data you say, Tamil Nadu is the only place where the enrollment in government schools has increased. By 15% of the DMK has come to far. Rest of India has reduced. I have the data and official data which came in 2-3 editorials in the leading dailies. I can also share it after that with you. So it's not past percentage.
If we get into the data, I'm sure, Mr. Dhanidharan, then going by the Acer data itself indicates that, the education standards in Uttar Pradesh, which were supposed to be very, very archaic and backward, has now risen.
No, it's not. I'll tell you this. See, what union government gives ranking on university, engineering. I'll quote engineering colleges. Out of top 100 engineering colleges, 33 are in Tamil Nadu, 8 are state government colleges, highest for any state in India. So, who are the same students? The same students who are studying in Tamil Nadu schools are the ones who are joining colleges. Ranking is based on students, and companies come and hire in Tamil Nadu first. It is very well known across corporate sector.
All right.
So, how is it possible that if Tamil Nadu students are really bad, that the colleges are in the top ranking? So there is some anomaly. There is something wrong. Something has to be wrong with the ranking that came out, right? With the ASR methodology.
Rajat Sethi, how would you respond to what Mr. Dhanidharan has to say? Allegations have been made by BJP time and again that that this kind of rejection of the NEP coming in from the DMK is in fact a politically motivated move, and that it's not a matter about principles or ethics. How do you respond, keeping in mind everything that's been said by Mr. Dhanidharan?
I want to go back to 2021. Neet was the central issue around which the entire election of Tamil Nadu was based upon. Now, can you tell me what has DMK party for the past 5 years achieved on Neet? And if they have nothing to showcase, basically they don't have moral rights to keep bringing up these issues against anything to do with the Ministry of Education from the center and opposing it and trying to invoke the sentiments of Tamil people. That is essentially they are doing. Now, can he give me pointed
No, this is absolutely
examples as to
wrong.
what all they have done on Neet? Very pointed. I want bullet point answers.
Mr. Dharnidharan.
What Neet? We want to abolish Neet, and why was Neet not abolished? Because the
What
sitting
did you do till
governor
now, sir?
was acting unconstitutional.
What have
and
you
did not
done
send
for the
Neet
past
to
5
by
years?
the top,
remain-
right?
let's
In 2006,
stay
we
calm.
abolished entrance exam by bringing about it by sending it to governor. But this governor did not send it to president for about a year, and president is sitting on it. But in 2006, we were able to do it. Abolish entrance exams for medical admissions. How? We send it to the governor. Governor immediately sent it to the president, and president gave assent to the bill. Why is the governor not sending it? Is he electorally elected? Is he elected by the people of Tamil Nadu? No. All parties in Tamil Nadu except BJP are against Neet. Right? Even
The
Goa
entire
is
nation
agreed with
knows
all
Neet
parties.
was brought
Right?
into
One
India
party
because
that
of
is-
DMK and Congress.
No, it's not.
Gandhi
Goa is
Selvan
agreed
was
with
the
fact.
MOS.
Neet came because
When
of
Neet
ADMK.
came
No,
December
it's a lie.
21. No,
Lie,
no,
lie,
no,
it's
no,
a lie,
brother.
it's absolute
All
lie.
right. Mr.
Absolute
Dharnidharan, let's
lie.
also listen into the
Because
point that
the
Kovai
Neet
is
was-
making. Let's listen into what Kovai is making. I'd like to give him 30 seconds and I'll come back to you for a rebuttal. Kovai Satyan.
It is not Neet for Tamil Nadu. Neet was introduced in India is because of DMK and Congress.
Yes.
The amendment bill was tabled by them, wherein the MOS of health was DMK Gandhi Selvan. That paved way for Neet, for the entire nation. It's not for Tamil Nadu. Neet is introduced to India only because of DMK and Congress. Now DMK can't take a more high ground. The promise during the 2021 election by Prince Udaynidhi was, once we come to power, with just one signature, we'll get away with Neet. Now it's been like 4 years. MK Stalin is still struggling to find out where to put that one signature to
No, but
abolish
that's
Neet.
mostly what is said, that even Neet is against the Dravidian model
No,
of
no,
governance
no,
for
no.
MK Stalin. Mr. Dharnidharan, please, I'm sure you'll agree. For everything, these days what we've been hearing is that this is against the Dravidian model of governance. So, Mr.
Madam,
Dharnidharan,
listen,
how
let
do you
me speak.
respond?
See, any entrance exam is antithesis of the concept of merit. I'm not saying it. Academicians across the world agree with this. And when did Neet come in place? During 2018. Did it come during our rule, until our rule, or until when we were in alliance with the Congress in 2013? No, after BJP came to power, there was a draft Neet document which said whichever state wants to accept it can accept. But only because ADMK signed, MPs went and voted for it. In
No, don't lie,
2016,
don't lie.
Neet became
It was
a bill.
Supreme
It's the
Kovai,
truth.
I'm going to give you time for closing thoughts.
It's the truth. It is the truth, right? When did Neet come in Tamil Nadu? 2017. When did Congress government go? 2014. When did DMK leave the alliance? 2013. 4 years gap. What was ADMK doing? They were in alliance with BJP. In cahoots, they were making money. Corruption, collection,
No,
and commission
come
is what they were
prepared for
doing,
debate, my dear
right?
friend.
You came in your time.
All right.
What are you coming and
Come
telling
here.
All
here?
right, I need to wrap up
Outrageous.
and I would like to give
Yeah, I've never
closing
seen
thoughts.
anything more outrageous than Kovai Satyan's remark here today.
No,
please
but I
come
want to,
prep-
Kovai Satyan, I want
He has
you to
given a
keep
new
in mind
definition
and
to
answer
hypocrisy.
this question. Who is the custodian of Dravidian culture today? Let's answer that question. Earlier during the day, you were saying that the Dravidian model has been misrepresented by the DMK. Keep that in mind while you respond to Mr. Dharnidharan.
This DMK's Dravidian model is nothing but a fake Dravidian model. Whenever they were in power, they only had given away the rights of Tamil Nadu, starting from Kaveri, Megadadu, Neet, Jallikattu, the hydrocarbon and methane. So every rights of Tamil Nadu were given away by DMK only. And 2017, Neet was implemented in Tamil Nadu after the final verdict of Supreme Court, where Neet was challenged. Can he say that I will not obey the Supreme Court's order? Why DMK is peddling lies after lies? Because they are only known for that. They can't face the people or the media with truths and facts. Now the question here is, if they want to change the rupee symbol from Ru to Ru in Tamil Nadu, tomorrow won't they come out with an option saying that all the 21 languages are printed in the currency, we can also change the symbol. Somebody will give this idea to MK Stalin, he'll come out in open and make a statement. Your entire action is only leading to instigating people from the plethora of corruption charges which is there on your doorsteps. Tasmak 1,000 crores, sand mining 800 crores, 992 of Food Corporation of India's logistics scam. You are deep rooted in scams. Now you need an escapism. You need a route to
All right,
escape.
I'd like to give 30 seconds to Mr. Dharnidharan to, in fact, respond to that.
Madam, it's horrendous. If he comes and talks about Megadadu, when the Megadadu's DPR and financial shackle happened during BJP rule in Karnataka and ADMK rule in Tamil Nadu, and ADMK and BJP were an alliance. After we have come to power and Congress there, no step has taken. Our leader has made sure that it will not happen. And it's very funny, under AIDMK,
All right.
the debt to GDP of the state increased from 18%
You know, I think we need to steer clear of the blame game. No, I just want to say let's steer clear of the blame game. Perhaps leave the students, let them have the choice to choose for themselves. At the same time, also focus on issues that matter instead of dropping national symbols. Perhaps also focus better on the kind of law and order that is taking place in Tamil Nadu. Many thanks to you, gentlemen.